everyone, Richard here. Just doing a quick comparison between the Samsung Note 20 5G and the Realme 7 5G. So this is the front-facing selfie camera. One is recording at 4K. The other one is Realme is shooting at 1080p, 30 frames per second. Both of them are 30 frames per second. With the stabilization on, I'm not sure how good is the stabilization. But we can compare the difference and the color, you can see. Okay. So I will do a few tests just to do a simple comparison. Do note that when you're doing a recording and then you get someone with a very loud exhaust, the audio is from both cameras. Maybe you can test it out. I will switch between the audio test. So we can do an audio test on Realme, check 1 2 3 4 5, and then the Note 20 check 1 2 3 4 5. So we'll test out these two cameras. Just a quick comparison. The difference is the Realme is 3 times cheaper than the Note 20. So you can see what kind of difference there. We're not here to make that both are no good or both are very good, but it's just to compare between what do you get when you buy the Realme and what do you get when you buy the Note 20. Both is running on 1080p. We'll see how the stabilization is, and I'm going to hold both cameras closer to me. I think now they're both vibrating at the same pump. But look at it, it's so much brighter on the Realme, and I can see the blue skies on the Note 20, but I can't see the blue skies on the Realme. So let's walk further down to the park. Okay, let's go down some stairs and see how's the vibration like. That's what I'm doing the stairs. And we'll try to get to a spot where I can get hold of some sunset, which is the other side. So we'll have to go to the other side. Now I'm going to switch to the main cameras and see how's the stabilization and photos are. So now I have both phones on 4K, 30 frames per second, but the difference is the Note 20 able to shoot at with the wide lens, while the Realme is unable to shoot with the wide lens in 4K. The wide lens only available on 1080p. So you can see the Note can go to a wide angle, while the Realme can't do that. But we'll switch it back to the single one times. And you can see the color difference between the Note 20 and the Realme 7, and you can see it's much warmer and with the skyline orange as well as the water reflection, whereas the Note 20 is very cool, doesn't have that warm look. And you can see both are very different in rendering the scene. And I can see that the stabilization for the Note 20 is better, and there isn't much stabilization on the Realme 7 when it's in 4K. The stabilization is only turned on, I think the better stabilization is at 1080p. So we can switch to the tele zoom. There's 2 times zoom and 5 times zoom for the Realme, but there is only 3 times zoom for the Note 20. So this is the 2 times zoom on the Realme, and this is a 3 times zoom on the Note 20, and the Realme can go up to 5 times zoom. So we need to pinch to zoom on the Note 20. I'm not sure if it's working. Yeah, it can. To 5 times. Let's match it back to 5 times and see how's the image quality on that. So this is about 5 times. It's way much sharper on the Realme. So I do a handheld walk test, and you see the difference between the two. Let's see how the stabilization is. Definitely there won't be any stabilization on the Realme, but the Note 20 is having a better stabilization. And I can't switch to the wide angle on the Realme, while I can switch to the wide angle on the Note. So this is the wide angle, and you can see the warping in the wide angle. That's the difference, because the edge starts to warp when the stabilization is on. And you can see the clouds are like dancing around, warping left to right. And this is with the zoom lens, 2 times zoom and 3 times zoom. So there's supposed to be a stabilization on the zoom for the Note 20, but surprisingly the Realme seems to be clearer. So let's grab some photos from here. So now both are on 1080p, 30 frames per second with stabilization on, and we shall walk and see how's the stabilization going for both. This is a standard walk. I'm not even running. Maybe I'll do a running test and see how the super steady or the stabilization on both cameras working. And this is on 1080p. So the one-time magnification on the Note 20 looks very punch in, and as well as the Realme 7. But again, I can switch to wide angle on the Note 20, whereas I can't do that on the Realme 7. Now here's the thing, there seems to be a ultra steady on the Realme 7 on the front lens at 1080p. I'm not sure if there's any stabilization on the Note 20. I think it's just standard stabilization. Maybe, I'm not sure on the lens. There's no OIS on this lens, so I would expect the EIS will be on for both. And let's see how when you run. How does it look like? Is it stable when it runs? And when I pan, how's the dynamic range? Let's look at the sky. Again, my face is very well lit on the Realme and pretty dark on the Note 20, but I can see the blue sky on the Note 20. That's how it goes. So I just did a 48 megapixel high-res shot on the Realme 7 and a 64 megapixel high-res shot on the Note 20, and you can see the difference between the two, which actually is good that you have this option. So now that the sun has already gone much lower and the lights on the bridge are out, let's look at this video comparison on 4K. Both are 4K 30 now, and let's do a focus test since it's very getting dim. And the Note 20 grabs on faster. But the transition of the focus on the Note 20 is very abrupt. Right, it's not capturing on the Realme. Maybe I need to focus closer. And let's push it up again and see how's the transition. Yep, it's pretty jerky on the Note 20. Let's go back down. Let's go back up. And the stabilization just jumps, right? Doesn't move smoothly. So let's do this one more time before we take more shots on the beautiful bridge. Okay, you can see the difference between the front camera of the Realme versus the Note 20. This is at 1080p, 30 frames per second. But you see, once the light drop, the Realme has a better camera than the Note 20. Can you imagine that? 3 times the price. And it's very dim here now with little light from the street lamp. But it is great. Looks way much better on the Realme. The front camera on the Note 20 looks like a disaster, right? I'll switch to the 4K and see how it looks like. Okay, now we have 4K, and there's sufficient light underneath the lamp. But once it gets dim, you can see the Note 20 is really a disaster. There's the lamp behind there. But look at that, look at the camera, front camera of the Realme is still doing its job. I can see my face. Maybe the ISO is bumped up real high, but the ISO on the Note 20 is way too low for any night selfie shots. It's really bad. That's how the video looks like. Okay, so that's all. This is how it looks like. I'll leave you with just a last shot of the video at night of the bridge. So do give me a thumbs up if you like this comparison. It's just for fun. I'm just having these two phones, so I might as well do a comparison on that. And I'm also do hope that you subscribe to my channel so I can do more reviews, and do share this review with your friends. So I'll leave you with the video, the last video of the bridge. So look at the lights on the bridge. It's beautiful, right? So you can compare between the two videos in 4K 30 frames per second, and it's very much brighter on the Note 20, and the Realme is doing a bit of focus hunting. So okay, see you. Hope you have a nice day. Bye. Thanks for watching this review.